This is Good Wellbeing ASMR. So today I thought it would be fun to have a look at my shoe collection. I'm a big fan of ASMR shoe collection videos, so I've been wanting to do one for a while, but I have only just got round to giving my shoes a clean. I didn't want to do it until I'd done so because they are all very well worn. I am someone where when I get new shoes, I love the way they look when they're nice and clean and pristine, but I do wear them pretty much into the ground. I'm someone where I'll keep them until they're like disintegrating, and then finally I will throw them out or sell them very, very cheaply at a boot sale. So the ones I've got today, you will see they are very well used, but I've cleaned them up enough so hopefully they don't look too bad, presentable enough for the video. Today I'm going to do some triggers like tapping. I'm not the biggest fan of scratching, and I mentioned that in my first ever video where I did have 2 pairs of new trainers that I used, but I know a lot of people like it, so I think maybe on just the occasional shoe I'll do some scratching, but I'll mainly just do the tapping. I do have one pair of shoes which are boots that, because of the material, make I feel like a really nice sound. That one hopefully will produce some nice triggers. Just before I get into the main part of the video, sorry for making my introduction long as per usual, but again, another thank you to anyone who has subscribed. Each time I put a video out, I do tend to get a few more subscribers, which is lovely. As I've said on my other videos, it does really encourage me to keep going, and I always appreciate any new subscribers or anyone who has subscribed from the start, and any engagement like liking and commenting. Honestly, I can't tell you how good it does actually make me feel and encourages me to carry on with the channel. Okay, so without further ado, let us start with the first pair that I have here. This is one of the Air Maxes. Now, I'm going to be honest, I think this one, it could potentially be in the men's range. My favourite one was, it was a purple or a pink one, but this one was just on sale and so much cheaper, so I thought I would get this one. And I do really like the look. I find the Air Max heel just to look pretty classy, or goes nicely with gym outfits. So in terms of the design, I'm a big fan. I think they look great. Whenever I see people wear them, I always think they look good. However, just in terms of my opinion of the shoe, I don't particularly like running in them. I think some people do because there's good support, but to me they're not a running shoe. I kind of wear them either in the gym, or the best thing about them is they're waterproof. I don't know if they're completely waterproof, but they don't let water in like many of the other shoes that I have, so they're very good if I want to go for a walk and it's raining or it's quite wet outside. But yeah, great gym shoe, very comfortable. Again, I have mentioned this in my first video when I talked about trainers. I do quite like to have light shoes on my feet, so for me as a preference point, these do feel quite clunky. I think I'm very sensitive to that, and most people don't. I find that an issue. Okay, so let us tap on the Nike Air Max. sorry about how muddy this is on the other side. I've tried to clean it, but you can see that there's more grip on here than average trainers. So it might be the situation that the hiking boots aren't needed, but the terrain's maybe too bad for trainers. These are a fantastic in-between shoe because it offers that support, so it's really good in terms of your ankle. I mean, obviously it's not the same as hiking boots. These have been really useful when me and my husband go hiking. So we've been to places like Norway. If you haven't been, I really recommend it. It's one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to in my entire life. We did a lot of hiking and climbed some of the mountains there. I mean, obviously I didn't wear these for mountain climbs. So, fantastic trekking shoe. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I don't not like the look, but I wouldn't say this is necessarily one I'd say for fashion. But I do like the turquoise blue. That is quite nice. So if anyone's interested in my shoe size, it's a size 6, obviously UK size, which I think is slightly above average, but not majorly so, so I don't have too big feet, but yeah, a bit above average. Okay, let's hear some tapping sounds from the Adidas trekking shoes. like the look of them on other people. I think I just have a bit of a chip on my shoulder about big shoes on me. I'm again not sure why, where that's come from. Okay, so I do think some nice triggers can come from these shoes because of the material. So hopefully you enjoyed them as well. your stereotypical white pumps that, in my view, go with anything. I tried my best to clean them, but I think it's very obvious they are getting quite old. I need to buy a new pair. I do like the cotton ones that are maybe more lightweight, but obviously these ones are better if it's raining. They're not like full-blown waterproof, but they don't let the water in as much. I do think these type of shoes do make quite nice tapping sounds, so I quite like it when I see them in other videos. These are like my go-to. A very common outfit for me is like my Gymshark leggings, just because they're really comfortable, and then these white pumps, and then like a nice jumper or something, and that's just like my normal casual look. But yeah, I know people wear them with jeans as well, and you know, you can wear them literally anything, but they are, in my view, a very comfy day shoe. So those were my white pumps from New Look, and as I said, kind of the shoe that goes with most things, nice and comfortable, everyday shoes. Okay, moving on. So we have the Nike Flyknit trainers. These, as you can tell, have been well used. There's a lot of discolouring on the top, although it wasn't ever that white in terms of the heel white, so it's a bit of discolouring, but I think it looks worse than it actually is. As you can see here, there is a lot of cushioning, so that is really nice in terms of how it feels on your feet. And when I do sprints, I did notice this improved my time. However, I didn't find these particularly comfortable for longer runs. Not that I do many long runs now, but I felt like it squeezed my foot a little bit. But if I men's shoe. I just think from a preference point, and maybe the particular size of my feet, they weren't the best option for me. I don't regret getting them though. It's great to sort of try out different ones, but I just found them a little bit maybe too much cushion and too tight on the top. But still, I like the design. I think it looks great. Okay, let's hear some tapping. So they were the Nike Flyknit trainers. Moving on to the next shoe. So the final pair of shoes is another pair of Nike trainers. I think we're starting to see a trend here. I do like Nike Free trainers. They are just so comfortable. These ones are the Nike Free Runs 3.0. So a little bit older than the other Nike Frees that I showed. I love these. These were like my original favourite running shoes. So I still have, I know it's weird to be overly emotional towards shoes, but I do have a bit of an attachment to them, and I do still try to buy them. And obviously I've used them too much. This one, I think, actually comes from the boys range. Because I am a size 6 women's, I can get a size 6 in junior men's at the boys range, and they often are a bit cheaper. And so not always, sometimes they don't fit properly, but yeah, that's something that I've noticed. I don't really, mind it's not in the women's category of shoes. These are just exactly the same in terms of how they feel. So I liked the blue colour, and So they were the final shoes. I just want to put out there, I do have some more dressy shoes. I do own heels and wedges. I might do a separate video with those and include some of my other, maybe more dress up shoes than the more casual ones that I've shown today. Just to explain, I do have this little box lid that I've been putting my shoes on because I didn't want to put them on the table because I felt like it might be a little bit unhygienic. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you very much for watching this video. If you are still here at the end, I hope you found it very relaxing and enjoyed the trigger sounds from the shoes. It is one of my favourite triggers. Again, I also want to just say thanks to anyone who has subscribed, liked or commented on my videos. It does mean a lot and I really appreciate it. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I do hope my tapping was okay. I get this thing where sometimes I get pains in the joints of my fingers, so sometimes they do freeze a little bit, and I think that's what's happening maybe on the last shoe. So